Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a beautiful morning here on the allotment. There's a bit of a breeze, the sun shines out and well look, I haven't a jacket on so it must be quite mild. The birds are out singing, which is rather lovely actually being down here. A little bit of traffic in the background, but other than that it's a beautiful day as I say on the allotment. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, get yourself a cuppa and well, enjoy the show. Oh dear, I've just sat on my bench and look, it's rotted all down the side, so that's a repair job I think, because I'm not letting go of this bench. I've had it a fair few years now actually, and I got it, believe it or not, at a time when you used to go to the local tip and be able to take out stuff from inside all the containers. So if you saw something you liked, you could ask the guy and say, is it possible, can I have? And this is where I got this bench from. It was going to be thrown away. And I think I've had it about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. It used to be at the front of the house. It's now here on the allotment. And it's been painted. But obviously I now need to replace that section there that's holding the seat up. Fingers crossed. I don't know what I'm being held up by, actually, at the moment. So, well, let's just keep very, very still, shall we? And we'll continue to do some filming. So, yes, my lovely old bench needs to be repaired. Now, it's survived winter, so have most of the plants on the allotment actually. I've got my cabbages growing here. One or two have been attacked by, well, should we say the S word, that's so early on in the year? Yes, the slugs. And, well, actually some wood lice as well, stuff like that actually has a go. But they've got the natural matting around. In fact, unfortunately, there's a spare one because the little devils have actually got through that and, well, they've had what was, of course, the winter cabbage, but they're still coming along and they're doing pretty well in there, and I'm going to start feeding them now. We're getting a bit more sunlight on them. In my hand here I have some purple sprouts. I'm still picking them off the plants. They're a little bit blown, some of them, and that's to do with the nutrients in the soil. There aren't enough nutrients for this particular type of sprout, but once you've peeled it back, you know, and you put them in salted water, hopefully to get rid of any bugs that are in there, they taste delicious, and there's just a handful, just enough to have with Sunday roast today, which is nice. Anyway, let me stop harping on about me and what I'm doing here on the allotment. Having said that, I am sat next to, let's drag it across, my winter leeks here, and well, they need some sun now. They need some sunlight, maybe a bit more warmth. So what I might do with these particular ones is I'll place them inside the greenhouse, get the door back on, and hopefully generate some heat in there. I tend to leave the doors off in winter because there's nothing growing, it's just soil in there at the moment, and I've had to pause because I don't think I can quite believe what I'm seeing. Remember I threw some winter greens in there before, well, some greens, some cabbages and all those. I threw a cabbage head in there and I think it's coming up. I think it's actually growing. I just thought it was the cabbage that I'd grown up, but it's not. It's actually growing a cabbage, which is actually incredible. So it must be good soil in there. We'll have a look at that in a while. We'll get some film of that and see if it really is cabbage. Anyway, back to the leeks. They'll go in there, door back on, help them grow a little bit faster than they are doing. I had to stop filming, and this is where it's going to be a big cut, because I was looking down here and I thought, well, they don't look like leeks. They look more like onions. And the reason I said that is because this one here has got a bit brown on the edge, and it just looks a bit weedy to be able to leek. That's because it's not a leek, it's an onion. So these 5 onions here, in fact that reminds me, let's go across to Wakefield, to Darren in Wakefield, because you sent me a text and you sent me some photographs, and Darren, you're the first person to send photographs this year, so a huge congratulations to you, and thanks very much for your updates. Here we are, next to my onions. Darren, apparently your onions haven't survived at all, but then they are in open ground. These are sort of a little bit sheltered here. I'm going to put them inside the greenhouse there, and we'll close the door and get that warmed up in there. You've sent me some pictures, I've said, so you've got some kale, and that's doing really well. You've got some cabbages, and they're doing really, really well too. As I said, your onions haven't survived really. You've got leeks, they're coming along nicely, and you're doing really, really well. And you've recommended a book, and I think we're going to go with your suggestion for February's filming. So towards the end of February, so in about 4 weeks from today, we'll look at this book, and it's allotment month by month, and you say it's a really good book. It's easy to understand, and well, I look forward to having a look through that book. Now, you don't have to spend lots and lots of money on these books, you know. There are places such as Marketplace and eBay, all those sites that you can actually get books at a reduced price. So, and of course charity shops, you can go into there as well and have a look, and if we recommend a book and we think it's any good and you like it, don't spend all the money on it. I recently bought a book because I was fascinated by the idea of how you garden in this particular way. I've never done it myself, and I thought, well, why not? The new book's 14, 15, 16 pound depending on where you get it from. I bought mine for £2, including postage. Unbelievable, just amazing. And it's arrived, I've not yet looked at it, so I should be doing that in the next couple of months myself as well. And so that's another book. So that's 2 books we've got this year to look at. If you can recommend anything, why not do that, and we'll have a look in the coming months. I'm going to do 1 book a month because of course we've got to look through it and make sure we can well, cover it properly, really. It's funny, I've got a really old book that I was donated in my old greenhouse, and well, it's written by scientists, I think. It's got charts and graphs and diagrams and thousands of pages of just words. There's the few pictures that there are, not that you need pictures, but it's nice and helpful. They're all outlines and drawings rather than actually photographs, and it's a very technical book all about gardening, but not just about allotment gardening and growing plants. It's about flowers and trees and shrubs, but they go into such depth. And you get about, I don't know, I think I've got about 12 pages in there, so to get up really. And I keep dipping back into it, I keep going to sections in hope that I understand what they're saying. But as I said, it's written in such a way, in such depth knowledge, which is fantastic. I'm not sure you don't need that. But actually sometimes you just need a little tip, a little bit of advice. And well, let's go and have a look at the cabbage. Or is it a lettuce? We'll soon find. I'm going to do this in 2 sections, this filming, because obviously if you film and want to see me, then you have to see me in the shot. It has to be a wider shot, and you can't actually get a close-up of what here is. And here is a proper cabbage growing. Unbelievable. It's just from the head. I've obviously put a pit in the ground, and it's decided to take root. And I'm getting a free cabbage out of the old cabbage I've just put in. This was going to be my bean trench when I moved the greenhouse later on around here, but I don't think it can be now because I've well, recycling at its best, I presume. Buy one, eat one, chuck the stuff away, and get one free. So let's do some close-up filming of this with my pointy finger, doing a lot of that while we're doing the close-up shots. So here I am in the greenhouse. Now I'm having to use steady hand. As you can see, this is a proper looking cabbage. It's amazing. It's grown just now, just next to it here, look, just popping through here. This is just a cabbage, but this is not growing at all. That's just rotting away nicely. Whereas here, look at that, brand new, all for free cabbage. I hope it's in shot. I hope it's not too fuzzy and it's not shaking too much. I'm really, really pleased. I can't wait actually to see how big that grows. Wow, before it gets eaten by me, I hope, and not the slugs. Well, isn't nature wonderful, hey? A free cabbage in the greenhouse. It's marvellous here, the sun's still out. And well, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to having a look at that book, Darren, with you over the next month or so. And yeah, by the end of February, let's have a proper reviewing, a look at the book and see what it tells us and whether or not it works as a book to help gardeners of all levels, I presume. So once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I mean, it's absolutely hot here on the allotment. I can feel my chest here and my lovely new top is warming up very, very nicely. As you can see, there's still lots to tidy up here. It's an ongoing job at this time of year because of course we don't really start. I mean, my potatoes are chitting nicely. I've actually put them on a heated mat. I have to be careful though, because you don't want too much direct heat on them because they'll dry out, and then of course they won't produce any of those lovely shoots that we need them to do before we pop them in the ground or in your bags or tubs or buckets, windowsills, wherever you want to grow your veg, you can grow them. As I say, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. There we go, the wind's coming up and it becomes really hard to film when that happens, so let's hope that wasn't too much of a blowy start. Cheers, see you again next time here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures.